Welcome back to Newstalgia, the show where we find out what happens when something old becomes something new. This week, I'll be focusing on Devil May Cry, a remaster of the first game to be clear, not the remaster of the remake. Hopefully that didn't just confuse you. Anyway, my experience growing up with the Devil May Cry series was very limited. I remember watching cousins and friends playing the games and briefly trying them myself. Growing up, this type of game wasn't really for me, not because I thought it was bad, but because I just wasn't used to this style of gameplay. The nice thing about revisiting it now, I'm more used to the hack and slash genre. Honestly, I really appreciated this game playing through it completely for the first time. I've always loved the setting, style of the characters, and just the awesome soundtracks from each game. Those three elements are what always made me wish I could enjoy it more in the past. I think at the time, I was just more used to typical RPGs, platformers, and wrestling games. I have to say, you get a fantastic variety in weapons and powers in this game. It helps keep it fresh for multiple playthroughs. The game itself is pretty short. I think it took me around 6 to 8 hours to complete, but I imagine now, knowing what to do and how to fight all the bosses, a future playthrough would be much quicker. This remaster wasn't all good though, to be honest. While the graphics in the game look somewhat smoother, they weren't a huge upgrade, or even a decent upgrade. Another issue I found was that all the cutscenes, or at least most of them, weren't even upgraded and looked pretty rough. Is it annoying that this felt like a cheap upgrade? A little. Is it still worth picking up? Honestly, yeah. The gameplay is fun, you can often get the Remaster trilogy pretty cheap, and if you haven't dipped your toe in the franchise yet, it is worth checking out. But I still can't help but focus on the little effort put into it. Look, they did put some effort into the updated graphics. I can think of some ports that literally saw like a 2% upgrade. I'll touch upon those in the future, but I feel like they should have gone the extra mile with this. Sure, remakes like Resident Evil 2 and Spyro definitely spoiled us in their quality, but I truly appreciate the effort and it makes them feel like a new game. To be fair, those are legit remakes and this is a remaster. Even considering that, this leaves me wanting more. That's just my personal opinion though. I can see people being quite pleased with it, but one of the reasons I started Newstalgia was because there's such a vast amount of remasters, remakes, and ports, and there's also a vast variety in the quality of all those games. While I love talking about the past, I also have to focus on what we have here in the present. I definitely say this is an improvement compared to that Jak and Daxter remaster though, to give it credit. At the end of the day, this is a fun game to experience, and it kickstarted a great franchise. If you haven't experienced it, I definitely say it's worth a shot. If you still have an original copy, I recommend waiting to find it on sale for a cheap price. On that note, this has been Newstalgia. Stay tuned for next time.